Welcome to Thriver's Ed, the podcast that's all about giving you the practical, no-nonsense advice you need to level up your life and business. I'm your host, Marcy Rossi, success coach, business strategist, and alcohol-free enthusiast. If you're ready to crush your goals, optimize your productivity, and live your best, most authentic life, then you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into topics like the psychology of success, practical strategies to boost your performance, and the unexpected ways living alcohol-free can elevate your life. Whether you're looking to boost your business, improve your health, or simply become a better version of yourself, Thriver's Ed is here to help you do just that. So grab your iced coffee, buckle up, and let's get thriving. All right, today I want to talk about your welcome sequence, your email welcome sequence. I get questions about these a lot, both in terms of what exactly they should be saying and how specifically we set these up. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's not like a clear-cut answer, but we're also overthinking this, I think, a lot of the times. And with anything, I find that the best results come from trying something and testing it versus struggling too long to get it perfect. But if you are one of those perfectionist people and you just want to be told what to do, that's what we're going to look at today. What exactly your email sequence should or could contain and how we set it up. So if we're looking at an email sequence, it can really be as many emails as you want. I recommend doing at least 3, but it could be 3, 5, 7. I think after that it can start to get a little excessive and we can start moving into the other things that we talk about. At a minimum, I think we would expect at least 2 emails if you don't have an offer. If you have an offer, I would say 3 to 5 is pretty standard. And so what exactly goes in these email sequences? Well, for example, that first one is the intro, right? We're just going to give them the thing. What did they sign up for? Was it your lead magnet? Was it to sign up to be a blog subscriber? Was it, most of the time it's going to be that lead magnet there. And what we want to do is, this is not your place to tell them everything you've ever discovered about yourself or teach them anything or tell them about all of your offers. This is about delivery. It is a link to the thing that you promised them, right? You're going to tell them what it is, how to use it. You can add some bullet points in there and give them some tips and tricks on kind of what exactly they could do to get the most out of this thing that you created. Like if it's a checklist, you could tell them some things that they don't need to worry about. If it's a template, you can tell them how to get through it and things to look for, add a little training piece in there. We just want to be quick, clear, and generous, direct to the point. This does not need to be a long email. In fact, it can be one of your shortest emails. Don't bury the lead, deliver the thing. So that's email 1, deliver the thing. Up next, email 2. So email 2 can be a little bit longer, right? This is your story. This is the person behind the thing that they just downloaded. So instead of focusing really, yes, it's about you, but I don't really want it to be too much about you, right? It's not just all of your credentials and the fancy things that you've done and all of your backstory. It's really that part of your backstory that actually relates to what they're going through now. Right? Were you overwhelmed? Were you overcomplicating everything? Were you struggling with alcohol like I was? Like, great. Tell them that. Make them feel seen. And then help them see that moment that shifted for you, whatever that turning point is. And that helps them see that, actually, maybe I can make that change too. So this is a story about you, yes, but in a way that helps them see that transformation or whatever ultimate goal it is that they're looking for is actually possible for them as well. Now, if you don't have an offer that you actively want to send people to, you could stop at this point. And then, though, when I say stop, I mean stop at the email sequence, not stop at the communication, right? That's when you can start to move into your regular newsletters where they get more peeks into your insights, your value, your education, your entertainment, whatever it is that you're normally sending them. That can start coming in through there if you don't have anything that we're directing them to. But normally we do, right? We're in business not just to make friends and grow a big email list. So that's where email 3 comes in, which is where we start to kind of soft launch the offer, right? It's a next step. It's not a hard sell, like go buy this thing right now, right? They're still getting to know you. They've had 2 small conversations, one-sided conversations with you at this point. So we're just letting them know that there is a next step. And we don't have to be overly intense here. We're just, something like, if you want help with X, Y, and Z, here's how I help these people, right? It can tie in really well with a story that you sent the week before, because that's probably why you help people the way you do now, right? It's because you struggled with these things. It's because of everything that you've learned that now you have this system, this program, this course, this tool, this whatever, and now we get to actually present that solution. And we want to be very clear, very specific, give them examples of what exactly they could walk away with, right? Really paint that picture, right? Help them understand who this is for, right? People come into this program because they're stuck, and people come into the shortcut because they're stuck and they want to move forward with their business. They're tired of trying to do everything themselves. They want to just be told what to do and really shown a way so they don't have to figure out every single little piece on their own. So help them understand who this is for. If you're struggling with this kind of thing, I'll do this for you. We don't have to necessarily do this really hard, long sales page. And if you don't buy now and all this urgency and scarcity necessarily at the moment, we're just showing them a door. Now, I mentioned urgency and scarcity, and email 3 is a place where that can start to appear if you want. Something that I like to do, not in every welcome sequence, but occasionally, I will throw in a bonus if they act within a certain amount of time, right? They just trust me with their email list. I've given them some kind of solution in the form of my lead magnet, and maybe I want to help them take that next step by offering a limited time discount. So that's something that you could play in here in email 3, and then later on in one of your later emails, email 5 or 6, let them, remind them of that expiring bonus. You don't have to do this. I just think it's kind of an interesting thing to play with and see how well it goes over with your audience, especially if what it is that you're offering is very relevant to the lead magnet that they signed up for, right? If they just signed up for your email newsletter just from your homepage, there may not be a specific solution that they're looking for in that moment. But if they download a lead magnet about, AI tasks, and then you have an offer where you'll create a custom GPT for them, that's very relevant. And so offering a special discount on that can encourage them to take action. But again, you don't have to. We're just showing them a solution. So we've presented a door that they can walk through, right? Here is an opportunity for you. Email 4 is giving them an example of someone who took you up on that offer, who actually walked through that door. And if you don't have a million testimonials, you can just pick one. If you have a million, sure, go ahead, list out a couple examples. And when I say a couple, I really don't want to see a million examples of your testimonials. Give me some highlights here, and I can assume that there are more, or I can go see more on your sales page. But if you don't have a million, totally fine. You can just pick one person and one result, one situation, one thing, and dive into that. Tell a story. And again, we want to tell a story here, where that person was when they started, and then where they were after your solution, your program, whatever. You can add screenshots here if you have them, some more evidence that this thing really did happen. This person really did say this to you. But again, the focus is on where that person started and, the specific things that they were struggling with and where they ended up, where your new reader really wants to be. So showing them that, yes, even so-and-so can also do this, so then you can do it too. So that's email 4, showing the social proof essentially. Email 5 is speaking to any of the hesitations that they have, any of those objections that they have. And we all know the very common ones are time and money. A lot of times they'll have objections about not being ready yet, or maybe I should be able to do this on my own, or, definitely I don't have time for this. I don't have enough money for this. I can't afford it, etc. We need to address these objections, right? Objections are reasons people are not ready to purchase from you. So we can name them and we can reframe them, right? So something like, if someone's like, oh, I'm just going to do it on my own. And yeah, you could. For a lot of the offers that I have, especially my done for you services, you absolutely can do it on your own. You could spend your weekend trying to figure out how to connect your landing page to your email platform and have all these email automations sent in. Or you could just hand it off to me and, have it done by next week, right? Get it done for you. And then you can also paint the picture of, well, what else could you be doing on that Saturday if you weren't trying to Google how to set up an email automation in ConvertKit, etc. So recognizing and acknowledging that their objections are real, but they're not true. It's real to them, but there's another side to this that they may not have considered, or we just need to reframe it to see it in a different light, and that can help us take the actions that we really need to take, right, in order to get the transformation that it is that we're looking for. So handling objections, and these are coming from your clients. Maybe they're objections that you've had on similar offers, reasons you haven't purchased, finding ways to reframe them, ethically and honestly. But oftentimes there are ways that we can counteract these to help people see that what we have really will serve them in the best possible way. And then email 6 is optional. That's where if you added that bit of urgency, we can come back to it, right? So if we have a bonus or there's a real reason to act now, like maybe your offers are closing, you can say that, for my FastPass, I only take on a limited number of people per month. For the shortcut, I only work with 5 people per quarter because they get the most of me, right? And I think it's okay for people to understand that. It's important to acknowledge it. Don't add fake urgency. If you're selling like a course that doesn't involve any of your time, to say, oh, there's only 10 left, that's not real. So don't lie to people. But if you have a bonus or if you have some kind of limited opportunity, let them know this. We don't want to blow that relationship on something that's fake, but we do want to be upfront with people. We don't want to tell them and send them all to offers and be like, oh, by the way, sorry, I'm booked until 2026 or whatever the thing is. So that is your welcome sequence in a nutshell. Number 1, deliver whatever it is you said you're going to deliver. Number 2, tell them about you, why it is you do what you do. Number 3, helping them see that you have a solution to their problem. You see them and you have a solution. Number 4, showing them that other people have taken that solution and they've gotten results too. And number 5 is helping them reframe any of those objections they have so they can step forward confidently with you. So that's a general framework for your welcome sequence. Now let's get it into our email service provider, right? Email tools can be a little bit complicated. Some are a lot more overwhelming than others, but you're running a business, right? We can't just push this off when we have time to figure it out. We need the systems to work, which again is why I created the FastPass. You pick your system, I set it up. I'm not teaching you how to do it. I set it up, and then you can move on to whatever it is that you're going to do. So of course, what actually happens depends on the email service provider that you use, but as a very general rule, an email sequence is kicked off by a trigger. That is typically a thing that happens, right? Something triggers this to happen. If it's your lead magnet, it's that they filled out a particular form or they joined a particular group, or again, it really depends on your specific setup, but oftentimes it's a form. If they're going to claim a lead magnet, we need a name and an email address to send it to. So they fill out this form, that is the trigger. So when they fill out this form, email 1 is sent. That's the right away, no delay, send the thing that they just requested. Email 2, I like to add in a delay between email 1 and email 2, and I like to make it 24 hours. I want to be really kind of fast and hard in the beginning and then peter out as we go along, because if we wait like a week to follow up with them for email 2, they don't even know your name yet, and so they're going to forget who you are. So wait 24 hours, send email 2, and that is your story. Then we're going to add another delay. I will do another 24 to 48 hours here, email 3, and then going on from there, I will send emails every 3 to 4 to 5 days, kind of really depending on how many emails we have in that sequence before they move into my regular email list where I email kind of twice a week, sometimes up to 5 times a week. It really depends. But we want to do it kind of more frequently in the beginning and then slowly peter out to a regular consistency, whatever that regular consistency is going to be for you. Now, another tip that I like to include when setting up this sequence. So if you recall, at the very beginning, we have a trigger, and that is someone filling out the form. I will also, in my sequence, add a step that tags that person as welcome. What this says to me is when I'm emailing everybody else on my list, I can see that is a group of people that are currently somewhere in that welcome sequence. Maybe they got email 1, maybe they got email 3, but they haven't really finished my story yet, is what I'll call it. And so I don't want to bombard them with other emails that I may have already planned until I've got, communicated the message that I wanted to communicate. So when I'm setting up an email sequence, yes, we have the trigger, and that very first step in there, right? When I'm sending that first email, I will tag that person as welcome. So now they have a tag that's welcome. In MailerLite, tags are called groups, but in a lot of places it's tags or group. It's just a way we're collecting people. So they now have the tag of the form they signed up for, my lead magnet, and they have a tag of welcome. So then they go through that full sequence, and then at the very end, I'm going to remove that tag welcome. They'll still have the tag that says that they grabbed my VAI freebie or whatever freebie it is, but while they're in that sequence, I want them to be tagged with welcome, and that way they get all of the emails in the sequence first before they hear anything else from me. Now, I know a lot of people out there that don't do this and they don't really care. They figure if you're on my email list, you get everything from me. I'm not going to filter anything out. But I think it can be a little overwhelming for someone if they haven't really started to develop a relationship with us yet to start bombarding them with a bunch of communications. So this is the way that I prefer to set my sequences up. I think it's a little more respectful of the person that just joined your list, that you understand that this is the beginning stages of a relationship, right? We're not diving into a long-term boyfriend and girlfriend or getting married here. We just met. So we're going to take it a little easy in the beginning, give them some time to know us, and then they can get all the other wonderful, beautiful emails that we send with all of our offers. So, in a nutshell, stepping back, how do we do this? We have a trigger, right? Usually it's signing up for a particular form is what most places are going to be, or joining a particular group, depending on how your website or an email service provider are connected. Then we schedule out all those emails, making sure there is a gap and an ever-growing gap between those, but keep it reasonable. We're not emailing people once a month or once a year. We want to have something with some kind of regularity. And if you want, set up your sequence. So at the beginning, they get added a tag with welcome. And then once they've gotten all of the welcome emails, we remove the tag. All right, so your Thrive in 5 today is to get this started. So first up, make sure that you understand how to set up an automation in your email service provider, meaning MailerLite, Kit, Kajabi, whoever it is that's sending out your emails and that holds your email list. If you don't know how to do it, there are a lot of great tutorials out there, or reach out to me. I can help get you set up that way. But make sure you understand how to set up your automation. Then we are going to go into, number 2 is to go into a Google Doc and write that email one, right? Write it out. Remember, we're not going to overthink this. We're not going to go into some big, long story. Just here's your thing. Here's how to use it. Maybe here's a tip about how to use it, the end. And I didn't mention this episode, but we want to keep a separate document of our emails, because if you ever decide to move email service providers, if you want to help feed this into ChatGPT, like we have a separate copy that we don't have to worry about diving into our email service provider to find. So I always recommend saving content like this, your emails, your blog posts, etc., in a Google Doc or in a Word doc, somewhere safe that you can turn to and basically repurpose much more easily than you can if it's just in your email service provider. Okay, so that was a little bit of a tangent there, but number 1, make sure you know how to set up automations in your email service provider. Number 2, write out email 1 in a Google Doc or in a Word doc. Step 3 is to load that into your actual email platform. So put it into this workflow. We've figured out how to set up automation. And that first step, once that trigger starts, is that email. Step 4 is to test it. So go back into your webpage, sign up for your freebie using one of your real email addresses. Make sure the email comes through. Check all the links. Check them again. Check them on your phone. Check them on your computer. Make sure everything that looks good. And step 5 is to turn that automation on. Now, if you're going to add more steps to the automation, you may have to turn it off or pause it in order to add those other steps. But if we can just get that first one done, we've already taken a step forward. And then in the meantime, you can keep writing emails 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So that is what to say in an email sequence and how to set it up. If you need more support with this, or if you're like, Marcy, you know what, honestly, I just don't want to do the thing, then please reach out to me. The FastPass was built for things like this, for getting all of this up and off your plate quickly so that you can focus on the things that truly light you up. With that, until next time, keep thriving.